And then we were at the 9 o'clock hour and Bryan Danielson's promo about his wedding pictures. He had his wedding pictures taken in Greenville, South Carolina. Brian, how many noted photographers are you aware of that come from Greenville, South Carolina?
I think Austin Idol lives there. I've been known to take a picture or two, darling.
Well, that's true, but I don't know if anybody got married over it, or maybe divorced would be more like it.
No, I don't know. I have no idea.
Well, anyway, he made a big admission. He said the last 3 years he's had the most fun of his entire career. And that's what it's all about, kids. It's about going to work and having fun. And I mean,
I never knew I would have so much fun with having a boss who says, no, never, who just throws money at anything, who just will let me do anything I want at any time and take off whatever I want. This is a blast.
I can go anywhere and work for anybody. But they love Bryan Danielson, and he is a talent, even though some of his, as we've come to see, some of his ideas about the wrestling behind the scenes may be a bit dodgy. But they gave him a big thank you, Bryan chant. But the promo was basically about him slowing down for his family. His contract ends tomorrow, as of this was July 31st, so that'd be August 1st, but he'll be at Wembley, obviously.
Hey,
and
the audience gasped when he said his contract was up. That's important to note.
Well, because they thought he was going to say, I'm not going to be at All In. Because, I mean, they knew it was coming up, but, you know, tomorrow, when he said my contract ends tomorrow, it said, oh, fuck. He's done right now? But here's the thing he said. The whole point of this was because he's wrestling Swerve. And now you've got beloved Bryan Danielson, who they really like and who they respect. And you got Swerve, who was just a few short months ago, by virtue of being a heel, he was the most popular babyface in the company. And now he's cooled off because of the booking. So they are turning him back heel now, which we're going to talk about in a second in this interview. But so it's Danielson's last match, for all we know, in AEW. And people are saying, well, will he win the title? Which is stupid. Because, yes, it's a great story. Bryan Danielson wins the title in his last AEW match and retires, as Sting did the same thing, which was kind of stupid, but this would be really stupid. Because Sting wasn't beating anybody important when he beat the Young Bucks. But I don't see, or will Bryan Danielson say, no, I cannot beat Swerve Strickland, but they've thrown a wrinkle into it. He can't say to Tony, well, I can't beat Swerve for the title because I'm finishing up. I'm only going to be maybe wrestling every so often. It wouldn't be right because now they've had him come out and say, if I don't beat Swerve, I'll never wrestle again. So they're trying to move tickets to the stadium show based on the fact that they're promising people that Bryan Danielson would win the world title, which under normal circumstances, I would have no problem with that, except he's already also announced he's not wrestling anymore, except intermittently every once in a while for wherever he wants. So Swerve's there full time and you've already just buried him. So anyway, that's why Bryan Danielson said when he came to AEW, it was for two things. He said he was going to kick a lot of heads in and win the AEW World Heavyweight title. And he said, well, I've kicked heads, but I've not won the belt yet. Not only did he never, I remember, say specifically, my goal is to win the AEW World title. Wasn't he doing interviews where at the first he said he didn't want to be the world champion?
Oh, I'm not even sure, but I didn't remember that being one of his big things. That's for sure.
So anyway, he's going to give it his all in Wembley, and then Swerve's music plays, and out comes Swerve. And now, at the same time as Nana is getting him to chant Swerve's house, Swerve is doing a heel promo now. And the people started turning. You could tell because he was he was being, heelish and to a guy that they like. But but now they're turning the fans on their champion that they liked almost better than anybody in the company 3 months ago for one fucking match. And Swerve tells him, after I'm done with you, you may never walk again. That sounds kind of heelish to me. And that's when Danielson promised, if I don't win the title, if I don't walk out as champion, I'll never wrestle again. So many questions. Have they realized that they buried Swerve as a babyface by having everybody just fucking have their way with him anytime they wanted, and Moxley's Japanese bullshit belt being more featured, and they're turning him back heel to try to fix that? But they're going to beat him in the highest profile match he'll have this year. Or elsewise, Bryan Danielson, unless he's a liar, can never wrestle anywhere again. Even if he wants to, in Arena Mexico, Ole, or whatever.
It says something too that these 3 years, according to Danielson, are the most fun he's ever had. It seems like, to me, it's been a lot of missed opportunities. It's, when he first got there, they were on the cusp of something and they changed course. He got tied up with Blackpool Combat Club, which was a bad idea that went nowhere.
Yeah.
And is still, I think, transpiring in some form. Sometimes he's with him, sometimes he's not.
Well, who knows where Moxley is these days? He might have gone back for the cure.
But he hasn't been in the world title picture. I mean, he had those matches at MJF and, that was great. But, what has he really done in AEW?
Well, hold on.
Where's the guy that came off WWE TV that was a big star? Have they done anything to capitalize on any of that?
But also, I'm just thinking, he said the last 3 years have been the most fun of his career. Didn't he come back from an injury where he was out for several months, and then the Japanese guy came off top rope on his arm and broke his arm, and he was out for several more months?
Well, yeah, what he meant to say was, I work once every 6 months, and then I get to stay home with my family. I'm having a great time.
Well, he had a loose definition of fun if it involved broken bones and fucking medical treatment.
Well, he also got hurt in, I think, was it him? Didn't he get hurt in the Arena Anarchy match a couple of years ago with Jericho?
Yes. I mean, you can't really keep track. We ought to have a flow chart of all the AEW injuries. And still, I know that even though, no matter how stupid the risk is they take, that they shouldn't be taking, and if they get hurt, Tony will pay them. I still would want to avoid all the surgeries if it was me, but that's just me. But anyway, so we're going to see Swerve and Danielson title versus career. I got a few careers I'd like to put up.
Should he come back as the Masked Dragon? Get around. That way he's lying to not just the heel, but also his daughter.
Well, but then
Daddy's going to tuck you in. Then he jumps on up Tony's plane and he becomes the Masked Dragon.
Well, no, then they could work the deal where if he wins the world title, he has to unmask because Tony has to know who his real identity is, but he can't fucking unmask because his daughter will be watching on TV. So he has to give the belt back. See, nobody's ever done anything like that before.
Yeah, but they don't even have a Bob Geigel. That's the problem. Maybe it could be Shane.
You know what? A problem is when you're saying we don't even have a Bob Geigel. Then you've really got a problem.
That does sound like a pretty awful thing to say.
I don't think those words have ever been uttered before. If we only had Bob Geigel.
Well, Jim, of course, you may not want a Bob Geigel, but if you had Bob Geigel action figures, you may have to sell them to someone. You may need a store. You may have a lot of inventory you're going to be sitting on for a long time, but you may need to sell them. And of course, we know someone who could work with you, the small business, on a way to reach the consumer and sell your product.
Is your business right now small, but you'd like it to be big? Well, let me tell you something. Our friends at Shopify can help fluff that sucker up for you. I'll tell you that, boy howdy. Because our friends at Shopify are the global commerce platform that help you sell at every stage of your business, Brian. No matter what you're selling or the service you're offering or the product that you are sending out to the consumers, Spotify can give you the platform and all of the tools that you need to drive your business, as the kids say. And you don't even need a driver's license to drive a business. You just need that good old entrepreneurial spirit, and you need our friends at Shopify behind you. They got all kinds of little schemes and tricks and plots and plans to take
I wouldn't use
full advantage of the rubes and the suckers out there.
There are no schemes or plots or plans. I wouldn't use any of those words and apply them to our good friends, the honorable people at Shopify.
The honorable Shopify folk, well, they can help you grow your average order value with the Shopify Bundles app, where you can create and sell product bundles with ease. I mean, you just take unrelated shit and just tie it together with string and bundle it up, and they will sell this shit for you.
That's not exactly.
It could be a riding lawnmower and tax repair service. Just anything, you'd just be tied up together and just sold in a bundle.
Well, again, I'm not exactly sure if that's how that works, the bundling process. It may not be exactly.
You do have to order bigger boxes to put the bundles in when you're sending them out.
Well, let's not talk about this bundle. Why don't we?
For example, Shopify is your no excuses business partner.
Yeah.
When things are going south, you go to your partner. You say, what's going on? They say, hey, we don't know what the excuse is. We have no excuses whatsoever. We don't know what the problem is. It's probably with you. Then you can look inward at yourself, but you can sell without needing to code or design. Just bring your best ideas, and Shopify will take them and make a fortune with them, and then give you some of it.
You'll make a fortune with it, and Shopify will be your partner. Let's just make sure.
Unless you need excuses, and then they'll have none. And with Shopify Magic.
Yeah, Shopify Magic. I have to find out about Shopify Magic. Yes.
Well, you can whip up captivating content that converts from blog posts. You've seen the blog posts. They're about 5 feet apart, about 5 feet high, and they're along major interstates, blog posts, and they have numbers on the top of them.
And they convert?
Well, they convert, yes, from one number to the other. It's how the cops find you when you're bloated and floating in a creek beside the interstate. But you can generate instant fact answers to all of your fact questions. You can pick the perfect email send time. Let's say Byron likes his emails early in the morning, about 6 o'clock. You can program that in there. And Shopify Magic is free for every Shopify seller. So you can instantly learn how to do tricks like that. I'll tell you, I knew a girl that was a magician one time. We were riding down the road in my car. She touched my leg. I turned into a motel. And once you start selling, folks.
Yeah. Folks.
Shopify will make getting paid simple by instantly accepting every type of payment. They'll take cash, they'll take credit cards, they'll take traveler's checks, they'll take green stamps. If you have a vegetable garden, they'd like some beans and corn. They'll be glad to barter for a good-sized hog, as long as he's been fattened up first and is disease-free.
No, none of this is true, no.
You can be paid in any way, shape, or form you want. They'll even print their own money for you.
No, they won't. No, again, official denominations of the country. Let's just focus on the United States and the United States dollar.
Well, but they're a global commerce platform. So they take in money from all over. Some of this money you might not even recognize, folks. It might look like bullshit to you, but in Cambodia, it's a big deal.
They are not printing their own money.
No, they get it from Cambodia.
They are not getting anything from Cambodia.
Actually, most of the Cambodian money originates with catgut and intestines of some of the native animals.
They're not getting any fake money from Cambodia.
They braid it into like a lanyard type of deal, catgut and intestines, and you wear it around your neck and you break a piece off when you want to buy something. Do you want marketing made simple, folks? Well, Shopify is going to remove the guesswork with built-in tools, hammers, chisels, saws, awls, all kinds of things, electric pencil sharpeners.
They just have built-in virtual or digital tools, not physical hardware. It'll get pretty physical down in the trenches there when they're helping you create, execute, and analyze your online marketing campaigns. There's some bloodletting
a situation like that.
I guess so.
But running a growing business means getting the insights you need wherever you are. So with Shopify's single dashboard, you can manage orders, shipping, and payments from anywhere while you're driving down the road and still be able to tell how fast you're going. That's with Shopify's single dashboard. There's only one. So who gets the air conditioning control? We're not sure. But right now, you can sign up for a $1 a month trial period at shopify.com/JCE. That's all lowercase at JC. So it's the J with the curve down below the line and the dot over it, and then the little C and the little E. Shopify.com/JCE, $1 a month trial period. Well, fuck it, you can find that in the couch cushions. Now to grow your business no matter what stage you're in, Shopify.com/JCE.